The cold metal walls of Outpost Omega-7 hummed with a low, persistent vibration. Dr. Hana Kim sat at her workstation, fingers dancing across holographic displays that flickered with astronomical data. Outside the reinforced windows, the rocky landscape of the distant planet stretched endlessly, a canvas of gray and rust-colored stones under a pale lavender sky. Jay Park entered the research room, carrying 2 steaming cups of synthetic coffee. His movements were careful, calculated, typical of a scientist who had spent years training in extreme environments. "Anything interesting?" he asked, placing a cup beside Hana. She shook her head, her short black hair catching the blue-white light of the screens. "Just more geological scans, nothing unusual." The moment those words left her mouth, the station's proximity alarms began to pulse. A soft red light started rotating near the main communication panel. Jay's hand instinctively moved to the emergency wire communication switch, but Hana stopped him. "Wait," she whispered. A figure materialized near the airlock. Not through the door, not on any scanner, but simply appeared, as if woven from the very air around them. She was tall, impossibly slim, with skin that seemed to shimmer between silver and pale blue. Her eyes were large, intelligent, holding a depth that spoke of centuries of knowledge. "If you trust me," the alien woman said, her voice clear and melodic, "I'll show you something no human has ever seen." Jay took a step back, his scientific training battling with a primal sense of caution. Hana, however, remained perfectly still. Her eyes locked with the alien's, searching for any hint of deception. The alien's hand extended, revealing a small crystalline object no larger than a human palm. It pulsed with an inner light that seemed to breathe, expanding and contracting, like a living heartbeat. The crystal's surface was etched with intricate patterns that seemed to move and shift when viewed from different angles. "This is not just an object," the alien continued. "It is a key to understanding possibilities that your species has only dreamed about." Hana's scientific mind raced. First contact protocols, years of xenoarchaeological training, all seemed to collapse in this single moment. The crystal called to her, not with sound but with a subtle vibration that resonated deep within her consciousness. Jay's voice broke the silence. "Who are you? Where did you come from?" The alien smiled, a gesture so human yet so alien that it sent a slight chill down Jay's spine. "My name is Elia, and I am a messenger, a guardian of potential." The station's environmental system seemed to pause. The usual background hum of machinery dropped to a near-silent whisper. Hana realized that something extraordinary was happening, not just in this room but perhaps in the entire trajectory of human understanding. "What potential?" Hana asked, her voice steady, despite the racing of her heart. Elia's fingers moved across the crystal, and suddenly the room transformed. Holographic images erupted around them, glimpses of civilizations, technologies beyond human imagination, cosmic landscapes that defied current scientific understanding. "Humanity stands at a threshold," Elia said. "A moment of choice. This artifact can unlock paths of evolution your scientists have only hypothesized about." Jay looked skeptical. His hand unconsciously moved to the emergency communication device attached to his belt. But something in Elia's gaze stopped him, a look that promised revelation rather than threat. The crystal continued to pulse. Its light seemed to synchronize with the rhythm of the station, with the very breathing of Hana and Jay. It was alive, yet not alive. A technology so advanced, it blurred the lines between machine and organism. "You must choose," Elia said simply. "Trust requires vulnerability. Understanding requires courage." Outside the station's windows, the alien landscape remained unchanged. But inside, in this moment, everything was about to be different. Hana extended her hand. The research lab buzzed with an electric tension. Hana carefully placed the crystal on a specialized scanning platform, its surface catching light in impossible ways. Jay monitored the equipment, his fingers hovering nervously over multiple sensor controls. "Initial scans are impossible," Jay muttered. The crystal defied every scientific measurement. Its molecular structure seemed to shift and change, like water that refused to be contained. When standard scanning methods failed, Hana realized they were dealing with something entirely beyond current human technology. Elia watched silently from the corner of the lab. Her presence was both comforting and unsettling, a guardian who seemed more interested in observation than explanation. The crystal pulsed rhythmically, almost like a heartbeat. Suddenly, the device connected to the crystal began to malfunction. Holographic projections flickered around the room. Glimpses of strange landscapes, alien technologies, and complex mathematical equations that seemed to dance and reshape themselves. Jay stepped back, his scientific calm replaced by pure wonder. It's responding to human presence, Elia explained quietly. Most species cannot interact with this artifact. It remains dormant, a silent memory of forgotten civilizations. Hana noticed something strange. When she touched the crystal, the projections became clearer. Mathematical equations resolved themselves. Complex technological blueprints unfolded like delicate origami. Jay observed that the crystal seemed to react specifically to Hana's touch, changing color, frequency, and projection intensity. The artifact is alive, Hana whispered. Not living in the way we understand life, but something more complex. Elia nodded. It is a test, a pathway, a bridge between what is and what could be. The crystal began to generate heat. Not a dangerous heat, but a subtle warmth that seemed to radiate intelligence. Complex patterns emerged on its surface, mathematical sequences that suggested multiple dimensions of understanding beyond human comprehension. Jay ran additional tests. The crystal showed capabilities that defied current scientific understanding. It could process information faster than the most advanced quantum computers. It seemed to predict potential outcomes, showing multiple future scenarios with remarkable accuracy. This is not just technology, Jay explained, reviewing the initial data. This is something closer to a living intelligence, a technology so advanced it becomes indistinguishable from consciousness. Hana noticed something else. Her own cognitive abilities seemed subtly enhanced when near the artifact. Complex problems that would typically take hours to solve now seemed almost instantaneously resolvable. She could see connections, understand patterns that were previously invisible. Elia watched their interaction carefully. The artifact chooses its carriers carefully, she explained. Not every species can interact with it. Humanity shows unique potential. The research station's computers struggled to process the incoming data. Multiple systems began to synchronize with the crystal's unique frequency. It was as if the artifact was slowly integrating itself into the station's technological infrastructure. Jay looked concerned. We need to understand the potential risks. This technology could be dangerous if not properly studied. Hana disagreed. Sometimes understanding requires taking risks. This artifact represents an opportunity we cannot ignore. As night fell outside the research station, the crystal continued its silent communication. Holographic projections painted the lab walls with images of distant galaxies, complex technological systems, and mathematical sequences that suggested multiple layers of reality. Elia remained silent, her role seemingly that of a guide rather than an active participant. She watched Hana and Jay interact with the artifact, observing their reactions, their curiosity, their scientific approach. The crystal pulsed. Another layer of its mystery prepared to unfold. Something extraordinary was about to happen. The research station transformed overnight. What began as a simple scientific investigation had become something far more profound. Hana noticed the changes first, subtle at first, then increasingly obvious. Jay could now solve complex mathematical problems in seconds. Equations that would have taken weeks of computation now resolved themselves in his mind almost instantly. He would stare at complex quantum mechanics formulas and understand them completely, as if the knowledge was always within him, waiting to be unlocked. Hana experienced similar changes. Her spatial reasoning expanded dramatically. She could visualize complex three-dimensional models in her mind, rotating and analyzing them with unprecedented clarity. Scientific concepts that once seemed abstract now appeared as clear as everyday objects. Elia watched their transformation with a mixture of curiosity and anticipation. "The artifact recognizes potential," she explained. "It does not create abilities, but awakens what is already dormant." The research station's computer systems began to respond differently. Standard protocols seemed inadequate. New programming languages emerged spontaneously, more efficient and complex than anything humans had previously developed. The technology seemed to be evolving alongside Hana and Jay. Global scientific networks picked up unusual signals. Research stations worldwide reported similar unexplained phenomena: sudden leaps in cognitive understanding, breakthrough technological insights, and enhanced problem-solving capabilities. Military and government agencies became alarmed. Classified. Meetings discussed the potential implications of this unexpected human transformation. Some saw opportunity, others saw threat. Jay discovered he could now interface with computer systems almost telepathically. His mind could process and analyze data streams faster than any artificial intelligence. Mathematical models that once seemed impossible now appeared simple and straightforward. Hana's medical scans showed remarkable changes. Her brain's neural networks had expanded, creating connections that defied current medical understanding. She could now comprehend multiple complex scientific disciplines simultaneously, seeing connections that were previously invisible. The crystal continued to pulse, its light more intense with each passing hour. It seemed to be guiding their transformation, providing a subtle but constant energy that enhanced human potential. "We are being prepared," Elia said one evening. Her voice carried a weight of ancient knowledge. "Prepared for something larger than our current understanding." Global reactions varied. Scientific communities buzzed with excitement. Some researchers celebrated the potential breakthrough, while others expressed deep concern about the unknown implications. Jay began developing new technological concepts, sustainable energy solutions that could solve global environmental challenges, emerged from his enhanced cognitive state. Clean fusion technology, advanced space propulsion systems, quantum communication networks, ideas that seemed like science fiction became potential realities. Hana's medical research accelerated. She developed theoretical models for treating previously incurable diseases, neural regeneration techniques, genetic repair mechanisms, comprehensive understanding of cellular communication. Her mind now processed these concepts with unprecedented clarity. The artifact remained their central mystery. It continued to change, to respond, to guide their transformation. Sometimes it would project holographic images of distant galaxies, complex technological systems that suggested multiple layers of reality. Government agencies began monitoring the research station. Diplomatic channels opened with Elia, seeking understanding of the unexpected human transformation. But Elia remained cryptic, offering guidance without full explanation. "Humanity is being tested," she would say, "not through challenge, but through potential." Jay and Hana understood they were no longer just scientists. They had become something more, bridges between current human understanding and a potential future that was just beginning to unfold. The research station hummed with a new energy. The artifact continued its silent work, awakening possibilities that had always existed within human potential, waiting to be discovered. Something extraordinary was happening, and it was only the beginning. The galaxy watched humanity's rapid transformation with growing unease. News of human technological advancements spread like wildfire across interstellar communication networks. What had started as a simple research project was now a potential galactic disruption. Alien diplomatic missions arrived near Earth's solar system. Sleek ships with technologies centuries beyond human understanding positioned themselves strategically. Their intention was clear: to understand, and if necessary, to stop humanity's unexpected evolution. Hana and Jay became unexpected diplomats. Their enhanced cognitive abilities allowed them to understand complex interstellar communication protocols instantly. Where traditional diplomatic channels would take months, they negotiated in hours. The first major confrontation happened during a critical United Nations space conference. Representatives from multiple alien civilizations gathered, their technological superiority obvious. Massive holographic displays showed advanced weapon systems, complex galactic maps, and sophisticated communication networks. Jay stood calmly, his enhanced mind processing multiple communication streams simultaneously. "We do not seek conflict," he explained. "We seek understanding." The alien representatives found themselves unexpectedly challenged. Humanity was no longer a young, primitive species to be controlled or observed. They were becoming something else entirely, a rapidly evolving civilization with unprecedented potential. Ilya remained in the background, a silent guardian. Her role was not to interfere, but to observe humanity's critical moment of transformation. The artifact continued its subtle work, enhancing human capabilities beyond previous limitations. Global governments united in unprecedented cooperation. National boundaries became less important compared to the collective human potential. Scientific. Research centers worldwide began sharing information at speeds never before possible. Alien monitoring stations detected massive technological shifts. Human communication networks became more efficient. Energy production systems transformed. Space exploration technologies advanced by centuries in mere months. Military strategists from various alien civilizations became concerned. Humanity was developing defensive and exploratory technologies at an exponential rate. Weapons systems that seemed impossible became practical. Space travel technologies that were theoretical became functional prototypes. The United Earth Coalition emerged as a new political entity. No longer divided by traditional political boundaries, humans began to see themselves as a single, evolving species. The artifact had done more than enhance individual capabilities. It had created a collective consciousness. Diplomatic tensions escalated. Some alien civilizations proposed blockades. Others suggested direct intervention to prevent human expansion. But each attempt was met with unexpected resistance. Hana developed communication protocols that allowed instant translation between human and alien languages. Complex cultural nuances that would have taken decades to understand were now processed in seconds. Diplomacy became a tool of mutual understanding rather than conflict. Space exploration accelerated. Human probes reached distant solar systems faster than any previous civilization had achieved. The technological leap was unprecedented. What would have taken centuries now happened in months. The artifact continued its silent work. Sometimes, it would project holographic images showing potential future scenarios. Multiple possible galactic outcomes flickered through research station displays. Some showing peaceful coexistence, others showing complex interstellar conflicts. Alien diplomatic missions found themselves increasingly frustrated. Humanity refused to be categorized, controlled, or limited. Each diplomatic encounter revealed new layers of human potential. "They are changing faster than we can understand," one alien diplomat reported to their home civilization. "They are not just advancing, they are transforming." Jay and Hana became symbols of this transformation. Their enhanced abilities showed what human potential could achieve. They were scientists, diplomats, explorers, representing a species on the brink of a massive evolutionary leap. The galaxy held its collective breath. Humanity was no longer just another developing civilization. They were becoming something entirely unexpected, and nobody, human or alien, knew exactly what would happen next. The transformation continued, silently, powerfully, unstoppably. The final stage of human transformation arrived quietly, without dramatic announcement. It began in research stations, spread through global networks, and then expanded beyond Earth's boundaries. Hana stood at the central observation deck of the United Earth Research Station. Outside, space looked different, no longer a dark, empty void, but a complex network of potential and possibility. The artifact, now fully integrated with human technology, pulsed with a soft, rhythmic light. Jay approached, his movements reflecting a new kind of human evolution. Enhanced cognitive abilities had transformed physical capabilities. He moved with a grace that seemed almost impossible, a perfect synchronization of thought and motion. Elia watched from a corner, her role now complete. She had been a guide, a messenger, a guardian of potential. Humanity, no. Alien civilizations watched with a mixture of respect and concern. Humanity had not conquered through force, but through unprecedented adaptive potential. They had transformed themselves from within, creating a civilization that defied traditional galactic classifications. The artifact continued its work, now fully integrated with human technological systems. It was no longer just a tool or a technology. It had become a living bridge between human potential and cosmic understanding. Diplomatic missions that once sought to control or limit humanity now requested collaboration. Human scientists were invited to solve problems that had challenged multiple civilizations for centuries. Their unique approach, combining intuition, creativity, and enhanced logical processing, became legendary. Jay developed communication protocols that allowed understanding between different species at levels never before possible. Cultural nuances, complex emotional landscapes, technological challenges, all became areas of mutual exploration and growth. Hana's medical research transformed healthcare across multiple civilizations. Regenerative technologies, neural network, understanding, genetic potential mapping. Her work became a standard for medical advancement throughout known space. The human transformation was not about superiority but about potential. They did not seek to dominate but to understand. They did not want to control but to collaborate. Their evolution represented a new model of species development. Earth itself changed. Cities became living, breathing ecosystems. Technology and nature integrated seamlessly. Environmental challenges that had threatened human survival were now solved through innovative, sustainable approaches. Elia's final message to humanity was simple. You were always capable of this. The artifact merely showed you the path. Space exploration became a collective human endeavor. No longer limited by national boundaries or individual ambitions, humans worked together to understand the universe's complex mysteries. The artifact remained at the center of human research stations, a reminder of the moment everything changed. It was no longer just a technological object, but a symbol of human potential. Jay looked at Hana. No words were needed. Their enhanced communication allowed instant understanding. They had become more than individuals. They were representatives of a species in full transformation. Outside the research station, galaxies continued their ancient dance. But something had changed. Humanity was no longer just an observer. They had become active participants in the universe's grand design. The transformation was complete. But in many ways it was just beginning.